Wocan was started in 2004 by a group of women who were all working within environmental and agricultural organizations, NGOs around the world. All of us got together and said we face the same problem, which is working within the institutions that were trying to do something on gender or claim to do something on gender equality and mainstreaming, but in actual fact we're doing almost nothing. So we, as senior women staff of those organizations, were ourselves feeling quite frustrated that we were not able to use our own institutional positions to bring any degree of attention to gender within these institutions or to bring new resources to women's groups working at the local level. So we decided that what made sense would be to have an organization that was women-led, that focused entirely only on those issues, and to build a network around that. And I think, not too surprisingly, but within the first 3 months of initiating Wocan, we opened it up for membership applications, and we were flooded. I think we had about 35 applications within the first 3 months, which indicated to us that we hit a nerve. We hit a need that was deeply felt by women professionals in these fields that until that time did not have any sort of collective output of, or organization that suited it.
Wocan is unique in that, unlike other women organizations or organizations that seek to empower women, Wocan looks at the contribution of men as well, and we appreciate that very much. Working with Wocan has allowed me to engage with women issues much more strongly and strategically.
Well, I think the way Wocan has done that successfully is through its training and leadership and development programs. It has enabled other organizations to strengthen their capacity to focus on gender issues, to be able to deal more effectively with issues that impact on the ground for their constituency. And I think that is one of the major ways that the organization has contributed to organizational change, organizational development, enabled other institutions and other women to grow in the process.
In looking backwards over the last 10 years and thinking, what have we learned in the process? The major fact that emerges is that this approach of gender mainstreaming is a very difficult one to be successful. I like to say it's because the carrot and the stick are not big enough. So despite a little bit of money, and a lot of talk, there just has not been, we have not seen big successes in mainstreaming gender into these institutions. This is for a lot of reasons, but I think it forces us as Wocan to step back and say, right, if that theory of change, of building leadership within the staff of these organizations so that they become champions and they drive institutional change, if that's not had the impact that we desired and expected, then what? And I think we've come to the realization that they just don't have the power themselves as change agents. And there's not enough drivers of that kind of change of gender mainstreaming within institutions. And there's not an accountability to the so-called policies that exist out there by those institutions. So we flipped it and we said, can we do something that incentivizes those organizations to do the right thing instead? And so we developed, the W Plus standard in order to do that. And I think really also in the process, we are also shifting Wocan's focus to that of building the empowerment, strengthening the empowerment of women at the grassroots level. We're convinced, after all these years, that it's those small or not so small women's collectives and groups that exist across Africa and Asia that are usually under the radar. They are not often known to or the attention of donor programs. So as a result, again, they're undercapacitated, underfunded, but with immense potential for growth to address the problems of food security and climate change, for example. And we've seen it again and again. So we feel that strategically, that's a better place to put our energy. And what Wocan can do is, again, to mobilize and use its space within regional and global bodies with partners that we have to find ways to bring those resources to women's groups so that they are able to grow and to realize their potential for that impact.